It has been 24 hours after President Bola Tinubu ordered the armed forces, the Niger Police Force, the Department of State Services as the DSS, and other relevant security and intelligence agencies to immediately launch a coordinated operation to rescue victims of the Friday's mass adoption in Niger State in north-central Nigeria. The recent mass adoption of unspecified number of worshippers, we're saying unspecified because there are sources that are saying about 60 were yet to get the official record from different mosques at different times on the same Friday in Gidanzana, in Masaka, in Sabongida, and Kwenya communities in Bogo local government area. It's coming 9 months after the recent incident, after the incident at the St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri in Agwara local government area, also in Niger State, where over 300 children and their teachers were adopted, and they are really secured by the federal government. The primary responsibility of government in a democracy is first and foremost the security of lives and property, followed almost simultaneously by the welfare of the people. So tonight we have the Niger State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Obed Nana Nuhu, joining us live from Mina for an update of what is going on in his state. And tonight we shall also stay with the 2027 general election, and we have in the studio the substituted presidential candidate of the Young Progressives Party, that is the YPP, Dr. Peter Agada. He says he is not desperate for power or to win election, but he has dumped the Labour Party, that's the LP, only on June 8th this year. And a little over 10 weeks later, he snatched the ticket of the YPP from one of the only 3 female presidential candidates in the 2027 general election. We shall also definitely get into these conversations after we bring you up to speed with some major developing stories.
Accord Party and Amnesty International are calling out the chairman of Kuje Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, Danjuma Shekolu, over his direct threat that residents of the area must either be join APC or leave the area council entirely. Both the party and the human rights group are calling for investigation by the police and other security agencies, insisting that the chairman's threat points to a plan to use violence on people for their political choices.
I have said in my area council, it's either you're doing APC, yes, or leave the area council. I'm not counting. It's either you're with us.
No public officer has the constitutional authority to compel citizens to support a political party or make political loyalty a condition for living peacefully in an area council. The executive chairman must remember that his oath of office is a solemn commitment to serve the people impartially and within the Constitution and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all Nigerians, and Kuje belongs to Nigerians.
Federal High Court in Abuja has remanded a 35-year-old social media influencer, Farouk Mohammed, in the Kuje Custodial Center till September 9 on 4 counts charge of cyberbullying of the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa. The police prosecution alleges that the defendant, who pleaded not guilty to all charges against him, accused the defense minister and serving defense chiefs in a social media post of failing to take appropriate action, resulting in the deaths of Nigerian troops fighting terrorists on the front line. He was also alleged to have accused the minister's legal advisor, Aliu Anas, of providing misleading information to the defense minister in an effort to have him removed from office by the presidency.
You can see if you go there, there's the Farouk Musa Abuja. He's a TikTok guy. He insulted me and insulted the Chief of Defense Staff, the Minister of Defense, and the Chief of Air Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Army Staff. All of them accused them and accused myself that that one, in jail, of shooting on the issue of insecurity in the country. And as you can see, the law takes its course. That's a cyberbullying. And then we say we have no any other place than to come to court, for court to see and scrutinize whether or not, if he has an evidence, no problem. And they want to send a warning to Nigerians. These TikTok guys are the people that, try to mitigate the effort of our security or military, leaders in this country. And we are not going to allow that.
Finally, after much public outcry, the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has apologized to the dilapidated section of the Benin-Agbo-Asaba Expressway over the hardship occasioned by a gridlock. Umahi, who visited the road, also ordered immediate intervention on the failed sections while faulting concessionaire handling the project for the worsening condition of the highway.
I am very, very disappointed with this concessionaire. I am very, very disappointed, and I offer apologies. I take full responsibility for the misdeed and for destruction of public assets, because I have the bill of quantities here. I have the conditions of contract here. The Ministry of Work does not allow anybody to remove the asphalt on the road. That is against the policy of the Ministry of Works. I've been here with the governor of the state, and at that time they started removing the asphalt. We frowned at it and we begged them not to remove this. And each time the Minister of Works instructs them, they will tell them, "You are not independent engineer. It's independent engineer that should instruct them." But you should have been arrested for destruction of public, assets.
Thanks for remaining with us. And now we're being joined by the Niger State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Obed Nana Nuhu. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Tewe.
Yes, so Niger State in the news again after barely 9 months, mass adoption. Can you confirm the exact number of worshippers that were adopted on Friday?
Thank you very much. The issue right now is for us to first of all appreciate that the state governments, inclusive of the federal government, have not been reluctant about taking charge of the situation. And first of all, let me also assure you that when you talk about figures, for me, it sounds less concerning for people to understand. For me, it's about, even if it's one life that is lost, it's important for us to, commiserate, for us to understand that a life has been taken. I've been inundated with calls from different media houses about the figures, and the truth is, if you know Niger State, especially Borgu Kingdom, you realize that it's a very difficult terrain. And each time you send security forces to go into these areas, especially when an incident like this occurs, people scamper for safety, and getting in touch with people, especially security agencies, to ensure that they get adequate information becomes difficult. First of all, it happened on a Friday at Kenya in the mosque. People were abducted. And we acknowledge people were abducted, of course, because we get security reports from the security agencies. And then we also rely sometimes on our information officers that are usually posted in every local government area in the local government secretariats. Unfortunately, when you have a situation like this, people scamper for safety, and then the security agencies go into these hard terrains, and they have to be careful as well, so they don't even run into more insurgency. But the truth is, as we speak, verification is ongoing. The state government, in line with in collaboration with the federal government, has set up a mobilization team of a joint security forces to go and assess the situation, and also at the same time fact check the number of people that have been affected, and also to ensure that there is a rescue operation ongoing, even as we speak. So for me to tell you there is a particular number for now, it's difficult. This thing happened on a Friday, and by Saturday, even our own people, Nigerians, were calling to find out what is actually happening, what is the number of people. And I went on radio, one of our local FMs in Mina, and I told the people, look, some of these things happen. You can't just wake up and just start giving press statements from the government. This is what happened. You have to get verification. You have to find out the facts. You know, you see people, individuals go on air to post things and you unverifiable things. But we as a government, we can't just come out and not give you a verifiable fact. So we go on to get verifiable facts, and which is ongoing.
Okay. It's been 5 days since the incident. Have we had the governor himself, or maybe at most the deputy governor, visit the affected communities? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me? Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, I'm asking whether the governor or even yourself or the deputy governor has visited the affected communities, met with the leaders, spoken with them, giving them assurances.
Okay, let me take you this way. Just yesterday, we called for a critical stakeholders meeting of people within those communities. And they were at the government house with all the security agencies.
Okay. So the people had to come to Mina, the state capital. Yes, I said the people had to come to Mina to meet with the governor and everybody, not the governor and some of you going to where they are. That's fine. From what you are saying. Yes.
Hello, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm hearing a noise in the background. I don't understand.
Okay, because maybe that's from your end, but I'm saying that the people had to come from the affected communities to Mina to meet with the governor, and some of you, not you people, going to meet with them.
That's the usual routine. As we speak now, after that meeting yesterday, now we have set up another meeting. You know, in Niger State, we have what you call the Niger State Security Information Situation Room. 24 hours, we are together with the security agencies. Myself and the Homeland Security Commissioner are in that group, and we always, share information as to what is happening. When this thing happened on Friday, we made a statement. The government made a statement, and we brought it out. People were like in a hurry to get a statement from us, and we said you can't make a statement when you have not verified facts. Now, going to these places to say the governor should come or ourselves to go to that place for on-site assessment, for now, it's not the matter when you have sent a joint security operations to go and verify facts for you. How do you jump the gun? By going ahead to say you want to go and meet the people that are scattered around. We have to make sure that these people are together with. Now, there's even an online video that is going on, and people are alleging that, okay, 500 people, this and that, but that video is unverified.
We've seen the video too, but it's not something we can use because it's not, just like you said, it's not verified.
So for political will, for us to jump and say we want to go and meet the people, these things are recurring decimals in our state, and we've been doing these things. We've visited all. In fact, lately, our governor went around all these kingdoms in the effort to bring people together to understand that we cannot continue to live in divisive environments. We have to come together and understand that we are one. The governor did that. In fact, the governor cut short his leave like 3 times to come and take charge of some of these situations.
Okay, the president has directed the service chiefs and other heads of other security agencies to coordinate and brief him on the rescue operations. Can you confirm whether any of them has been to Mina or to Niger State since the president gave that directive a little over 24 hours ago?
I want to assure you that is even the more reason why tomorrow we're having a state security press briefing with all the security agencies to address the media, to address the public, and to update them on what's happening. Why I agreed on this Zoom meeting is for me to like explain to you that these are the things we're doing. But the crux of the matter is that we have already arranged for a scheduled meeting tomorrow at the government house where we're going to address every security agency is going to speak for itself. The federal government, in fact, I can assure you, has also helped even the state government to make sure that we deploy more security attachments to some of these areas. These things happen because we have a borderline with countries and even states. You know, the other time, the Honorable Commissioner for Nomadic explained to the public that we don't have a particular, what do you call it, a terrorist camp in Niger State. And that is true. Niger State happens to be a transit center because of the Kainji Game Reserve, Park Reserve, and all that. And you know, it's a huge,
vast area. Yes.
And interesting enough, the Niger State government is not in charge of this land and this forest. It is the federal government, but I can assure you that the president has made sure that he helps the state in making sure that we attack this matter right from the grassroots so that we can see at least a level of amelioration to this challenge.
From what you said, you know, these attacks and incidents are almost recurring. They are almost like an everyday thing for you. You say routine. I think quoting you rightly, using your words as it were, which shouldn't be. What
I didn't say every day.
No, I'm not. You said is regular, is routine, which means it's almost like what happens almost every now and then.
No. That is don't misquote me. Okay. When I say it's becoming recurring, you said 9 months ago, how many months ago this thing happened, and recently something happened again in that axis does not make it a daily affair. When I say regular, you should understand the semantics of regular.
Okay, okay, fine. On August 8th, we know that road transport workers around Mokwa shut down the road. They were protesting. They said, look, they were on strike, that there are regular adoptions, you know, attacks, you know, and all of that. Why is the situation in Niger so different? Let me put it that way, or so fluid the way it is.
Let me explain that to you.
Yes.
In case you don't know, Niger State has the majority of advantage that any state can have in terms of placement geographically. We are a gateway for the north and the south.
Yes.
We have a lot of federal roads cruising through Niger State. So what do you expect? When you have a lot of traffic going through that area, a lot is bound to happen. But then again, Niger State is not raising on yours, especially the government. I know that the state government is putting every effort in place to make sure that we reduce this into the barest minimum. So the thing is, we are a gateway, and definitely things like that are bound to happen. Doesn't mean that we are not doing what we ought to in terms of securing lives and property.
Yeah, I know that Niger State has about the largest landmass of a state in Nigeria, yes. So you can understand how vast the territory is. There is this talk about state police and all of that. Is Niger State preparing itself that, look, when this eventually happens, you know, they would, key into it so that some of these things will be addressed?
Mr. TV.
Yes.
Mr. TV, these are policy issues that I wouldn't want to dabble into. You know, these are policy issues that you need to exercise some constraints about the outcomes and all that before you can jump into conclusions.
Okay, so what measures, apart from you said there is a security committee, a 24-hour monitoring room.
Security information.
Yes.
State security information situation room.
Situation room. Apart from that, what other measures has the Niger State government taken? We've seen in other states there are vigilantes. We've seen in other states there are some security outfit that those states have created, to be able to help in intelligence gathering, to be able to help in response when things like this, happen. And we've seen some improvement in security situation in those areas. What is happening in Niger State?
Okay, let me use recently there were recruitments by the military, the armed forces, the military. There were recruitments by the police and other security agencies. These recruitments happen within the state capital. So what we do, and my Homeland Security
it appears. Okay, yes. Honorable Commissioner, you can continue with your explanation. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Now, what we did in this state is to collaborate with the military, collaborate with the police and other security agencies, and go to these recruitment grounds. I was there. The Homeland Security Commissioner was on ground at these recruitment camps in the barracks and all that. What we did was those of our candidates that were not shortlisted or were not recruited, we have devised a means of taking their statistics, their numbers, so that they will join forces with our vigilante. The state government already has approved a plan for such people who have passion for security to join the vigilante and then form a corps that can help to ameliorate some of these situations. That is, on one hand, that's what the state has done. On the other hand, are you talking about support of equipment or to the military, to the police and all that, vehicles and all that? That has been done. These are verifiable facts that you can go and verify for yourself to see if you really want to.
Oh, yeah. The network appears to be a challenge there. But thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner, for information and strategy in Niger State, bringing us up to speed with what the situation is in that state. And from what he has said, we've learned clearly that efforts are on the way to mobilize the communities affected and practically everybody in Niger State to get the job done. And we hope that the order by the President and Commander-in-Chief to the service chiefs and other heads of security agencies will get some impact on the ground. Because if I understand from what he said, we are yet to see that impact on the ground 24 hours after that directive. So we hope that something by tomorrow, like he said, where the meeting will be held, that much more would have been done in the process of getting results. But we can confirm to you that, and we must also remind the President that on Friday, August 21, it was also exactly 100 days that 42 pupils and students from Musa Primary and Junior Secondary School in Askira, Uba local government area of Borno State, Northeast Nigeria, were also adopted on the same day that school children and teachers were also kidnapped in Orile local government area of Oyo State, Southwest Nigeria. And we also have reports that on June 29, 36 other students writing their senior school certificate exam, that is the one organized by NECO, were also adopted from Government Day Secondary School, Lassa, also in Niger State. And we are saying that this set of school children and others also need to be rescued and reunited with their children. We shall take a break now, and we can confirm that the YPP presidential candidate is with us, and he'll be joining us as we head on to discussing the 2027 general elections. Stay with us. And thanks for staying with us. Like I confirmed much earlier, we have the presidential candidate, 2027 presidential candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, joining us. We have Dr. Peter Agada. You are also an architect.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Tonight.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so you left the Labour Party barely 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
To the YPP. I learned Labour Party said they've zoned their presidential ticket to the south.
Yeah.
So that excluded you, and you had to jump ship. But a number of Nigerians believe that, look, from 2023 to 2031, the presidency should remain in the south. And if you look at the 19 presidential candidates, those of you that are running, about 10 of them are from the south. Just about 5. You now, there were 4. You now joining them, 5 of you from the north.
Yeah.
So why are you insisting on running for the presidency this time when it appears the country is phased in one direction?
Yes. Thank you so much for that question. And let me put it like this. From 1999 to date, we've been running this gentleman agreement 8 years in the north, the other 8 years in the south, right?
Yes.
From my analysis, Nigeria during this period to date has also spent about 232 trillion naira in the course of trying to develop a fantastic and wonderfully blessed country.
Yes.
I'm an architect, a development consultant, integrated development consultant. I know how to carry out analysis in terms of input against output in development.
Project management.
Yes. Breaking down all the output in terms of all the indexes, physical development, human development, and all the other realms. 232 trillion, approximately $660 billion as the financial input into a system on 923,000 kilometers square of land. And all we could see is what we see today.
These figures you are quoting,
yes,
223 trillion, equivalent of 660 billion, is it from the budget?
That is all Nigeria has been spending as government
from 1999 to date. Oh.
If you give me 1/10 of that, we'll be looking at close to a Dubai today. Do you understand the reason why I'm in the race now?
Yes.
Because political patronage has not done Nigeria any good. And I want to ask you a question. You're about to board a private jet or an aeroplane, and you're climbing the step, and you heard the two, the air hostess and one of the ward, saying that, no, this pilot that is going to fly this plane, I don't want an Igbo man. I want the Hausa man. He trained up to maybe 2nd or 3rd level grade, and the Igbo man is more qualified. He trained perfectly. He went to the US, he finalized his program, has all his certificates. But let him not fly today, because today is the turn of the Hausa man. Please call the Hausa man who is not very qualified to fly this plane. Will you enter that plane?
Before the pilot or co-pilot and all of them must be certified. they can't just and it's not based on.
Asking you a simple question. So basically speaking, our political patronage system needs to be put in the trash. And Nigeria, the best of us, need to lead the rest of us for God's sake.
Okay.
It's the same challenge I had with the Labour Party.
Yes.
This zoning issue is this very same challenge. Why would you pick a candidate because of the place he's from? Why wouldn't you pick a candidate because he's qualified? He has the wherewithal to change the polity, to change the land. He has the capacity.
So in Labour Party, they did not even allow you to buy the form, or you bought the form, but you were screened out.
I bought the form, but that's another story. It's another story for another day, you know. Thank you so much, and that's my answer. That's my reason.
Okay, there are those who were discussing this, and they said perhaps maybe you are actually looking at 2031. You want to make your presence felt now, so that when in 2021 the country is almost everybody is sure the presidency is coming back to the north, that you will make a good showing. You may even look for a different platform. Is that true?
You know, I run a practice, an architectural practice.
Yes.
In the area of acoustics, architecture. I'm one of the leading architects in that field in the whole world.
Good.
In Nigeria here, I have conquered up to the point of harnessing and dealing with the acoustics of the largest auditoriums in Nigeria, back to back for the last 10 years. I just finished the Dunamis Glory Dome on the airport road. It's the biggest hall in the world right now. My company has just been registered. If you want to check it, you can check it. Cyrus Acoustics UK Limited. My next line of action was to expand globally. I had registered in January or so, and I was ready to go take on the big buildings that have been 500, 1000, 700 years old in Europe. There are so many of them like that, ready for renovation. That was my next port of call. I was interrupted by my people, and they said, this is the time to move into this election. And I believe that I'm not moving into this election just to do a show-off, because I have other things to do show-offs with. I could have gone to show off in the world with acoustics and become the Dangote of acoustics in the world. But I chose to do this because I know that I can win this election with what I'm doing. So I'm not here to joke. I'm not here to just announce myself. I'm here to take over. I'm here to win this election. And I'm moving around, deepening what I've been doing, raising that 20 million young persons that need to hear me and are hearing me right now and are getting up and are joining my movement.
So you are targeting 20 million votes?
Yes.
On January 16, 2027?
Absolutely.
When you were in the Labour Party, you had this Labour direct governance model.
Yes.
That was almost like Labour Party. But now that you are in YPP, are you going to change the name of that model?
To YPP Direct.
To young Direct?
YPP Direct. Not at all. Labour Direct is built around a system of practice that I've developed over 29 years of my practice in architecture. It's actually a low-cost method of achieving the same aim that people go about giving out massive contracts with big amounts. Let me give you an example. Now, my complex in Katampe Extension has a 1 kilometer road that takes you from the main express road to my office. I built that road myself. It's 10 meters wide, has drainage on the two sides. I built that road. It's 1 kilometer exactly. It's
with
1
approval of FCDA.
Of course, we submitted drawings. Yes, we do the normal thing. Now, I built that road under 100 million by myself, using my trucks, using my equipment, using my staff.
Direct labor.
Direct labor. So if you switch the name direct labor upside down, you get labor direct.
Yes.
All right. Now, that kind of road equivalent is done for 1 billion right now. So what we want to do is take Nigeria into our hands by Nigerian labor, Nigerian people, Nigerian professionals, cut the cost and cut the waste and develop our country. At 10% of what I just told you, if you give me 10% of that 660.
So you think that the problem we have as a country, maybe because you mentioned it several times when you were even quoting the 244 trillion and all of that contracts are given and all of that, you think that the contracts are what is not developing Nigeria, that we should get youths, get people directly involved in this project?
Absolutely. If I become the president of this country, first thing I'll do, I'll digitize the whole. Nigeria will become a site. You know what? 923 square kilometers, site. The first whistle I'll blow, all the professionals from every state will go to their state. Nigeria is already blessed with complete set, that pack of engineers that are needed for development in every state of Nigeria with the FCT.
You've been talking architecture, engineering. What of other professional health people?
Accounting,
teachers?
health, doctors. Nigeria has 23 development sectors. 23. I'm talking about professionals in each of these sectors. Nigeria is already blessed.
You will be president. You will just be one person.
Yes.
There will be 36
governors. Yes.
And from what you are saying, as if you want to take over the.
We will work together. By the time, I can sense you're already getting convinced yourself. Now, we're going to work together. You will see what we're trying to do practically, and you will get convinced that this is the way forward. I don't think anyone will resist this.
Okay, let's look at your emergence as a candidate of the YPP. You came in, there was a substitution convention that was held last weekend, and you came in. Are you happy that you came and snatched this ticket from a woman? There are just supposed to be 3 or 4 of them, and then you came and took that ticket. The woman that you took the ticket from was not at that convention. We have not heard from her. Did you read? Your party says she submitted a withdrawal letter. Have you seen the withdrawal letter?
I was actually there when she brought that withdrawal letter and something from the court. I think it must be an affidavit or whatever that was. And like I said this morning somewhere, Anita Zugwe is a fantastic lady, the woman leader and presidential candidate of the YPP. When I came into the party and was introduced to her, I did some research and I saw her on television doing, fantastic. That lady has what it takes, and I'm sure a lot of people like her. She resigned that appointment for personal reasons. I don't think I have the power to say that here on her behalf. But I know she resigned in good faith, and the party on their own also saw it fit because of the way I came into the party. I came into the party not as an individual. I came in as an army with a lot of people. Of course, I was the former director of finance of the Obedient Movement. When Mr. Peter Obi left the Labour Party, I didn't leave, and quite a lot of us didn't leave. But by the time I was leaving the Labour Party, those who stayed back actually moved along with me. So I came into the party with hundreds, if not millions of persons to join the YPP. And they saw what we were doing. They saw Labour Direct, they saw the Congress of Professionals, they saw the movement Nigeria, which was the name of our movement. And they felt this man looks well to represent or carry the party's flag. And of course, all the other processes went normally. So it wasn't we didn't bully her out. She's a fantastic lady. She of her own accord, she resigned that.
But if that was the case now, why did they have to change the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate? Was that your decision that you couldn't work with the running mate she had?
Fantastic man too. The vice presidential candidate in the person of Wale was a veritable VP for her. But I have my plans. I also wanted. I'm very gender sensitive. I didn't want to lose the feminine energy from my system
that you are taking away from.
And besides, I have a very fantastic VP in the person of Patience in the Keys, whose role really dovetails with mine. I'm not planning to run a spare tire vice presidential kind of thing. So it's a partnership between myself and Patience.
Okay, that's fine. You mentioned the Obedient Movement.
Yes.
Is it that you didn't believe in Peter Obi when he left? Because those who were in Obedient Movement are believed to be those who believed in him as a person. So when he left, you didn't believe, or is it because you had your own agenda, you had your own presidential ambition, and you decided, okay, I won't go with him, stay back. Now that he has left, there is space for me to run.
I like how you ask your questions, sir. Well, Mr. Peter Obi is a fantastic person, a man of impeccable character, He's a man that believes in a lean governance operation, which I believe in also. He's a visionary personality, and he loves the country, actually. If you check him out, truly, he loves the country. I connected with him through my principal, Professor Pat Utomi. whom I worked with for more than 15 years before Mr. Peter Obi even came into our fold. I also was the, if you know me well, I was the shadow minister.
The shadow government. That the matter is in court.
Yes, So that is how we met. Now the point of departure for me with the obedient movement and Mr. Peter Obi is in my principles and ideology. I'm an architect. I believe in building systematically. I believe in form, space, and order. This is how we're trained in school. Lines must be straight. You must do your calculations properly. You must have structure. You must have form. You must have space. You must have order. That is the training of an architect. I think the movement Mr. Peter Obi wants to drive is more amorphous in nature. There was one day I went to a meeting on behalf of the obedient, and somebody challenged me, can you produce a 100,000 list structure in paper? Give me one Excel sheet that shows 100,000 people with their states, local government, and ward. We don't have that. It's not in my character to function in such a sensitive organization without having that kind of order. Today I have over 3.something, 4.something million.
The obedient movement had no lists,
They probably are putting that together now, because my resignation was based on the fact that they had no order and no structure. That was my basic reason for resigning. There was no structure. But of course, I see some effort now. I don't know, but my movement, the movement Nigeria, I can give you the list of persons from the first to the last ward. We have 8,809 wards in Nigeria. We have representation in those wards with their names, phone numbers, photograph. That's how I build. I believe in structural construction. That's my nature. That could not fit into that amorphous system that they wanted to build. They wanted people to just go, create a movement here, you just go, we don't know where you end, you just create a movement and you just go. I don't function.
Was it, you think the obedient movement was more of a special purpose vehicle for the purposes of the
Maybe it looked like that. But I was not building for that. I was building for more long-term, not just election-based. I want to raise people. I want to train them. I want to impact that thing that makes me who I am into other people. Long-term, not necessarily because of election. I said it some weeks ago. I'm not desperate to win this election. If I win, fine. If I don't win, I will still continue to raise my team. I will continue to build the party. That's what I want to do.
Okay. You've also rejected a coalition.
Yes.
Which a number of people in opposition are saying, look, if the opposition parties don't come together, if they don't have a consensus candidate, if they don't come together as a coalition, it will be practically impossible to unseat President Tinubu or the APC as the case would be.
Yes.
So if you don't believe in coalition, working with others together, but you say you want to build.
I actually believe in coalition. But I don't believe in a coalition without ideology or without purpose. If the sole purpose of coming together is just to remove government, then we are repeating the same thing that's brought us where we are. On what basis are you coalescing together? Are we gathering together to drive a center-right, center-left ideology? Are we coalescing together to be pure capitalists or pure socialists or center to the left, center to the right? What are we coalescing around? Or we're just gathering together, a bandwagon. Even those who were enemies before. Those who plotted against some people before. There are some group of people that plotted against this very Obi before. And now they want to be friends with Obi. On what basis is that? What are we doing?
But there are no permanent enemies or permanent friends in politics.
But there is a permanent
interest.
There's a permanent ideology.
But
if you don't build on principles, on ideology, you're just gathering together. What you are putting together will fritter with the nearest turbulence.
So when you talk of ideology, there are a number of people who will even tell you political parties in Nigeria don't have ideology.
And they are right.
Yeah. So
yes.
Even YPP most probably doesn't have an ideology.
No, but YPP is founded on very strong ideology, sir. I can tell you that.
Which ideology?
Meritocracy is number one. They even said it the day I had a press conference for the first time, resigning from the Labour Party. Mr. Wale sitting beside me immediately said parties should not be built on zoning. That's automatic meritocracy. Okay? The white people wants to build an egalitarian society. They want to build a society that is private sector with a social safety net. They have beautiful ideologies written all in their constitution.
They want to give to the left, they want to give to the right.
Yes, yes, they want a society that is driven by capitalism, but with a social safety net And they made mention precisely of the social safety net. Health is non-negotiable. It's free, it should be free. Education is non-negotiable. It should be free. Jobs is non-negotiable. It should be free.
Where would they get the money to do all this free?
Sir, monies for the development of Nigeria, the eyes
because
of...
if you are saying it should be private sector driven,
yes.
and you say free, there's nothing free in a private sector driven economy.
Now, if I'm building a cluster, let me tell you how I will make it free. I'm building a housing cluster around agricultural, agro-industrial production. I tie your housing to your working in an industrial and agro-industrial, maybe a farm that produces cassava, that produces ethanol, or whatever the process, the value chain.
It's a community,
it's dovetailed. All right? Part of my corporate social responsibility to that investor is to provide you a hospital. It's to provide you a hospital. And as a government, it will be my job to put drugs in that hospital and to staff that hospital.
But is that not that appears to be almost a plan across the country? In Abuja, for instance, all the districts are supposed to have district hospital, even though some of the lands have been given out for private developers and all of that. If you go to the states, almost every local government has a general hospital or a cottage hospital, as it were.
Now,
so these are
our population in Abuja and the number of hospitals we have in Abuja, how many beds do we have per person? You know, that is how you check whether you have hospitals. If you go to this hospital, sometimes when you're admitted, you sit outside. Some people sleep on the corridor.
There are no beds to admit.
Is that hospital? It's not hospital. We've not started. We've not started, sir. We've not started the development of this country. And that is why I'm here. That's why I'm here. We know what to do. The costs of accommodation has skyrocketed in Abuja. When I came to Abuja, where I stayed as a young man, my rent was 3 million. That same house right now is charging 15 million. Most of my colleagues that I came to Abuja, we started working with, have left Abuja into the Kubwas of this world, into the Nyanyas and the Maraba, because accommodation has become difficult. Even in Gariki, where it used to be easy, it's become expensive. Why? Because the primary role of government is to provide housing for the people. Why is our government not providing housing for Nigerians?
So we're building materials very expensive.
Yes.
The cement, the iron rods, and all of that. It's almost as if it's impossible to have affordable housing. Because even the federal mortgage, the National Housing Fund, it used to be 15 million. That's the cap for federal mortgage, but land is being increased now, and all of that.
Yes.
So land itself is expensive. The building materials are expensive across the country.
Yes. So let me tell you what should have happened. Everything gets expensive with time. If you go to the UK, houses are expensive. Power is expensive. Land is expensive. Taxes are high. But you know what happens? Because there is a micro economy, there's an economic undertone in that country that puts more money in your hand. It doesn't matter if 50% of that money you are earning is going to pay for your mortgages and your house, as long as there is production and the economy is rewarding your efforts. We have an economy that doesn't exist. There's no industry. We don't have industry. We don't have commerce. We don't have production going on. That's what is happening.
Thank you.
So our program, Labor Direct, though we didn't have the time to go into it.
We're completely out of time.
Yes.
You will get back. The campaign period between now and January. So we'll discuss more on how that campaign can fit into what we also have here. Thank you very much, Dr. Peter Agada. He's the Young Progressives Party YPP presidential candidate, the newest. Just one
less than a week,
week old, and we are looking at a situation where INEC will on Saturday. By Saturday, that's the last date for a submission of nomination forms for presidential and national assembly members. That's August 29. I'm sure you have your own form now, most probably you are filling. And by September 12, INEC will publish the final list of presidential and national assembly candidates. And hopefully at that time, we should be able to see your name
on the list, by the grace of God.
I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
That's the program tonight. Like we always say, democracy should work for every Nigerian. And Nigerians, we also must be good citizens, stay out of trouble, and be part of nation building. I am TV Tiaf.